Hey guys, how's it going? It's Schmeat back here with another video, and we have breaking news again. A couple days ago is Myers Leonard and that situation. Hopefully everybody is up to date on that. I know things played out. He apologized. The Miami Heat came out with a statement. They didn't release him, but you know he's on leave right now, basically. But this as the thumbnail might suggest is the Spurs and LaMarcus Aldridge parting ways. And it's probably a long time coming for this to really come to light, because LaMarcus Aldridge hasn't even been playing the season, and just reading these reports, Woj and Shams reported it, so you know it's true. Parting ways. It's not a buyout, from my understanding. They're working on trade scenarios. But this is crazy. LaMarcus Aldridge is how old? Because he's getting up there, and I don't know what his value is, if I'm gonna be honest. I mean, he used to be one of my favorite players. I mean, he's only 35 years old. He used to be one of my favorite players in the league at Portland. He got traded to the Spurs, or he signed with the Spurs, one or the other, which was seen as a big signing for them. And it's just crazy that it's gone to this level where, you know, he barely plays. He was injured this season. It's kind of like a Blake Griffin idea. Do the Warriors get him? I'm not sure. I don't know where LaMarcus would want to go. Probably somewhere where he could win a championship. But if I look up his salary, that'll give me an idea of, you know, what teams could trade for him. He $24 million this year. I mean, a team like the Boston Celtics could get him. They have that $27.5 million trade exception from the Gordon Hayward. It was kind of like a sign and trade because my Hornets gave up all that money, and in return we got a player. So they could use that money to go out and get LaMarcus, and they wouldn't actually have to trade like anything. Like maybe like a Romeo Langford, but I'm sure getting LaMarcus in return would be fine with them. But this season, I mean, 14 points a game, 36% from three is what the Celtics need right now. You know, they need a big guy that can really shoot and stretch the floor, and you know, Daniel Tyson, Tristan Thompson don't really give you that on the floor, and neither does Robert Williams. I was blanking on his name for a second, but I think LaMarcus can still play. I mean, 35 years old. You know, as I said, injuries really held him back this year. From really getting a true glimpse at him. I'm curious what Spurs fans are thinking right now, because you know, do you trade DeMar as well? Is that the route you're going? Or are you gonna go towards a rebuild with? I mean, it's not really a rebuild. You still got good players. You got Derek White, Lonnie Walker, DeJounte Murray. Just to name a few. Who's other? Keldon Johnson, who's really come to the scene this year. I mean, it's not like you guys are gonna be left with no one. So I do like this coming out, because it gives teams time to really think of a trade, think of his value, honestly. And it says here he signed with the Spurs in 2015. It does not seem like it's been almost 6 years since that's happened. That's kind of crazy. But I mean, if LaMarcus comes to the Charlotte Hornets, I would love him. Guys. You know, we need a good center. But another team, like if I think of like championship contenders, I don't think the 76ers would trade for him. I mean, they don't have really much money to you know, like spend $24 million on this type of player, which makes me think if anybody would, besides like the Boston Celtics case, if any contender would spend that much money for LaMarcus Aldridge, because that's kind of tough to picture. Like a team like, who's the title contender? The Bucks. The Bucks could maybe, I guess. But you know, the Lakers, they're tight with money. They can't. The Clippers are tight with money. So finding an actual trade for LaMarcus that's actually on a good team is kind of tough right now. And there's a bunch of trade targets that are a lot better than LaMarcus. I mean, you got Nikola Vucevic, Evan Fournier on the Magic. They both are, in multiple trade rumors to the Boston Celtics. You got people like Jeremy Grant that were rumored. I mean, Larry Nance Jr. is a solid player, and I think he's a lot better than LaMarcus, especially this year. I don't know about their whole careers, but I don't think, LaMarcus is at the top of anybody's priorities in getting. Maybe a bad team might want him. I'm not necessarily a bad team, but like the Atlanta Hawks are a team that comes to mind that could use LaMarcus, even though they do have a little crowded front court, but I think he still, gives them some light to that team. But I think he's still a solid player. I mean, 14 points a game this season isn't awful by any stretch. So I think he still can contribute. I think he is a little better than Blake Griffin from what we've seen this year. So I think the Spurs can trade. Like in the case of the Spurs, I understand it. I don't like them going public because then their leverage kind of lessens in a trade, if that makes sense. But for the Spurs, it makes sense to let your guys go. It'll be interesting if they do end up trading DeMar or not, because I could see it both ways. If they do, they want to go young, but if they don't, they want Greg Popovich is like 103 years old, so I understand that as well. But I mean, breaking news, guys. I would like him on my Hornets again. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. If you like this video, subscribe. We're on the road to 400. We're super close, and I'll see you guys later.